Okay, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be taking some old Ferrari F1 cars and some modern ones around the Fiorano circuit, which is Ferrari's own track in Maranello. And here are some of the times throughout the years. Schumacher's F2004, obviously the quickest. We're going to start, I believe this is with Prost's 1990 Ferrari. So yeah, we're just on the warm-up lap, coming round the final bend. So I'll guide you through the circuit a little bit. Yeah, opened in 1972. Enzo Ferrari had this built just as a private test track, and all the greats have driven here, who have driven for Ferrari anyway. And it's a real fantastic course. It's a shame that we don't get to see many races or see it in action. You know, if you're living in Maranello, I think there's like a viewing area. You can go and watch whenever they have a test day. But they test their road cars here. We're in rFactor 2 as well, by the way, I forgot to mention that. So it's got this bit here, look, there's no real guard there and you can go straight over. Yeah, this is quite an interesting turn. The hairpin there, full crank to get the car around there. And of course, 1990s Ferraris and Formula 1 V12 engines, of course. And a lot of people look at the Ferrari spell of Alain Prost and you think, you know, he didn't win a world championship, but he did win other races. I mean, he competed with Senna. You know, and his relationship with Ferrari eventually deteriorated and he was sacked. I think that was 92, no, 91 he was fired, 92 I think he had off, and then 93 he came back, became world champion, and then retired again. I did meet Prost briefly back in 2014. Just like he signed a leaflet for us, had a picture where he actually wasn't looking at the camera, but you can tell in the picture that it's him. Real genius of the sport as well. So yeah, we're going to run a few Ferraris, old and new, around here. So 55 seconds is the time to beat. I don't think we'll beat that. Of course, that's with Schumacher in his Ferrari. I'm running maximum settings for each car, so every car's going to have 3 laps worth of fuel, so that's an out lap, and then 2 flying laps. So to kind of keep things balanced throughout this little test. It's more of a bit of fun, really, showing off the dynamics of the circuit. Okay, so we've moved now to, I believe, 1996, and this was Schumacher's first year with the Scuderia. Not a great car, didn't perform well, he was just kind of getting bedded in there. And yeah, it's a great looking car. I mean, some of the cars look a bit cartoonish, they're like modded into rFactor 2, but this is a phenomenal looking car. Tad wide, that's fine, we can deal with it. Of course, we've got the trademark helmet as well, with the stars on it. Lovely view. I always wondered how Michael and Enzo Ferrari would have got on, because obviously Enzo Ferrari died, was it 80 something? End of the 80s anyway. And Michael obviously didn't join until 96, but I mean, imagine it was either one of them relationships that would have deteriorated quite quickly, or off there. Not great. It'd been one of them relationships that deteriorated very quickly, or would have been that have got on really well. I think Enzo Ferrari maybe have just been a guy that, as long as you were winning, you know, you were in his good books. But the second, you know, you start making mistakes, you know, the relationship goes a bit sour. Whereas Michael, I think he's somebody who wanted control of a team. You know, he wanted to bring his own designers in. He wanted, you know, the right people around him, and that's what he was able to do at Ferrari. Whether if Enzo Ferrari then would have been alive, would he have allowed that to happen? I'm not sure. But nevertheless, fascinating thought. And I think this is when Ferrari started using V10s, and they've done away with the V12s. Obviously a lot heavier. You're taking a little bit of a hit on power, but I mean, you could be lighter, a little bit quicker through the corners. So you're running out of fuel. This you think would be a little bit faster. They've made lots of mistakes, really, really wide there. Apparently, yeah, Enzo Ferrari he'd sit it outside and he'd watch the cars being tested. I mean, obviously back then there was more free reign on tests, and for anyone who's seen Rush, you see him actually doing that. He's reading the paper as Niki Lauda goes past. Niki Lauda described the car as a shitbox, and they say, "Oh, you can't say that, because Enzo Ferrari would be offended." Okay, so this is 99 Ferrari. Again, it looks a bit more agile, a bit more modern than what we had back there. Again, not a hugely successful season for Michael. I think this might have been the season he broke his leg. Silverstone, or legs. Might have been then, I'm not sure. But again, he was still winning races. So, and we had groove tyres coming in. I believe this was the first year. Was it the first year or the second year under the Bridgestones? Bridgestones was much more modern than the original Goodyears, but a lot of people, for heritage reasons, do like the old Goodyears. I must admit, they do look pretty good. So yeah, it seems a little bit more controlled with this car. There's a fascinating bit as well. You got the shell, get like garage sort of thing where you saw it in with Martin Brundle a few years ago. Did a test in the Ferrari around here, and he started off in there. It's quite unique having it so close. It shows it's a proper testing facility. As for the mod, I mean, they've done a great job on this. Whoever's built it, it's available in the Steam store. I don't believe you can race. You can have a race here, but you can test as much as you like. Not much harm done there. Keeping it on the road. Full cranking it around that hairpin. Love it. Great design. You just think if you had a race here, I mean, there wouldn't be much overtaken. There's very few opportunities. We come around this hairpin. But yeah, definitely go and get this. Again, available in the Steam store. Okay. Not great times, but now we're on to, for me, the greatest racing car ever made, the F2004. Unstoppable in its 2004 season. I mean, he won as good as everything. I mean, a few races he didn't win, obviously, but this is when he had every record going, and it just handles so well. Any racing game you play it in, whether it's the F1 games, the older F1 games, Assetto, anything, it just handles well. It picks up the track. It's just glued to the circuit. I mean, even if Adrian Newey had a hand in designing this, I just don't think they could have made it any more perfect. Plus a screaming V10 in the background as well. Unrivaled for me. So I hope to do it justice and set a good time. 55 seconds, still the lap record round the Maranello test track, I believe. And that is with Michael Schumacher in this. Just a little bit closer. Go faster, I reckon. So this is the last one that we've got really from Schumacher era. Then we'll move on to another sort of post-Schumacher era Ferrari, which was, and still is, really, when you look at it, highly unsuccessful. So it's kind of amazing now. I mean, most people, when I grew up, I mean, Ferrari was the big name, and Formula One it was just untoppable for a time. And then now you look at it, it's more of a brand rather than a team that people know. I mean, the younger generation will mention your Red Bulls, Mercedes, both been a lot more successful in the last 10 years, winning championships. And this team kind of, I don't know why. I can't really put my finger on why Ferrari's been so unsuccessful in that time. Surely they're due a championship at some point. Okay. So we're with the last man to win a championship in the Scuderia, and that is Kimi Raikkonen in the 2007 Ferrari. A cracking car. And you think kind of at the time, I mean, if you think he was kind of, you look back to the '07 World Championship, I mean, you think that Raikkonen was kind of lucky to win that. Was he the best driver that season? I wouldn't say so. I think Hamilton probably was. I'm not, as you know, I'm not a Hamilton fan at all. I think probably he should have won the championship, but there was, again, he bottled it in China. I mean, it was in his hands, wasn't it? And same Alonso could have come up there for McLaren, and there was all that whole controversy. But I think that was definitely a case of being in the right place at the right time for Kimi Raikkonen. He's definitely a man who deserved a championship. I mean, I thought he might have had one maybe in the McLaren era, but he did move to the arch nemesis they were at the time in order to get one, and he did. He moved away with the world title. But nothing since, as I touched on earlier. I don't know. There's got to be something internal, because every time there's always like a little bit of promise, and everybody gets excited. Yeah, Ferrari going to be returned to the front, sort of like this season, and it's just like it just failed horribly. Like Leclerc, the first few races, you thought, ooh, here we go. And I mean, even recently, like getting poles and things, and the engines are blown up. And yeah, I mean, it would just. I don't know. There's got to be something internal. It's got to be toxic of some sort, Ferrari. As to what would this have happened in Enzo Ferrari's day? What would he be saying now? Absolutely not, I don't think. Because he was a dictator, and I mean, he ruled. But then you look at it, and the last time he won a world championship is with Jody Scheckter in '79. There was nothing until 2000, so that was what, 21-year wait. And so you think, when was the last time Ferrari won 112? Hold on. Let me do my maths. 2007 was the last win. World Championship. So 15 years already. Okay, so this is this is Assetto Corsa's version of an F1 car from 2012. Not an Assetto Corsa, sorry, rFactor. And this is the V8, and what Fernando Alonso would have driven for those. How long was he with Ferrari? For 4 seasons. He was with 10, 11, 12, 13, no, 5 seasons. And yeah, you look at that. I mean, that was another one. I mean, they've just had the best drivers at the time. They had Vettel, they had Alonso. They brought these guys in, and just, I mean, they won individual races, but they produced nothing in terms of championships. And there's got to be something internal. There's something there that's not gelling. Big figures like Ross Brawn, Jean Todt, all left. Stefano Domenicali, who was successful himself, he won championships here. And they bring in these new principals, Binotto, Arriva Bene, and it starts promising. But the Vettel era, I mean, I was adamant Vettel was going to win it in 2018, and it collapsed dramatically after Germany. So yeah. Yeah, it's one of these. And we do have DRS with this, by the way, in this car. It just seems something. I mean, I like to think Charles Leclerc is going to be a world champion. But do you know what? With a Ferrari, I'm just not sure. I just don't think. And that's what, I mean, I'm a big Mick Schumacher fan, of course, carrying on a legacy. And it does worry me a bit that I think he'll be in the seat in 2024. Will they fix these issues by then? I just don't know. So yeah, if you just want to give the channel a like and subscribe, like the video, drop us a comment and let us know what you think about Ferrari. That'd be grateful. And if you want to submit a request for a video, I'm more than open to that. The only condition is you do have to subscribe. So yeah, imagine Enzo Ferrari lived somewhere around there, but see, he used to come to the track and he'd sit near where the Shell garage is, in the makeshift pit lane, in order to see his cars going round. Okay, so we're in the modern era now. This is another mod. Download this from the Steam store. Very hard to break this car, but it does. It's got so much grip though. That's the thing. It does handle ground. Of course, with DRS again, which may give us, well, will give us a boost. Again, yeah, the Leclerc. I mean, it's what Ferrari's done is kind of got these great drivers, and it's kind of spat them out. Alonso hasn't been the same since the Ferrari spell. Neither has Vettel. Controversial, I know they're loved, but it's quite obvious, and I stick with that opinion. You think, what have they done since? I mean, there's times, I mean, Vettel, okay, he's had a podium. Maybe he should have had another one. But Alonso's had one podium, but what have they really done? They looked, the pressure of any Ferrari, not just a driver, but employee. I mean, you've got the whole country of Italy is willing this team on. And that I think kind of creates a toxic atmosphere. And, you know, I mean, if you're let down, I mean, the pressure, if you let like the team down, you have an accident or whatever, I mean, the pressure must be absolutely insane. But if you win, I mean, the rewards are there, you know. Yeah, this is the current car. Again, so grippy. But very hard to brake, so I'm going to brake a little earlier. Maybe what the line suggests. Nevertheless, great. Ooh, just a bit wide there. Still no problem. Improving our time slightly. Just trying to keep it tight around here. Getting the power nice and early on the apex. Beautiful work. Okay. We've improved our time a little bit. Thank you very much for watching. Please do remember to like, comment and subscribe.